Hey, this will be the weekly review of the Warrior charts. We will go over the charts we put out for the week of February 22nd of 2010. If you're unfamiliar with this, what we're looking at here is the email we send out every Saturday, and what it does is we put up 5 different chart setups and we explain them all in this portion of the email. So once again, this is the email, so if you sign up and subscribe, you'll get this exact same thing, and you can check out the descriptions. But in a nutshell, we just pick out 5 charts we like for the week, and then every Friday we come back and go over them, win or lose, and that way people can kind of get an idea of how things went. So we had a focus chart this week. This is one that we always like to put a little more emphasis on. It was a volume alert play, and what we saw was just basically volume increasing and ramping up, having some nice price action here. We'll come back to that one a little bit later, but for the charts we had BBI, DRV, CYCC, CBBV, and TGB. And let's just dig in. So the first one was our pattern play, and this was BBI Blockbuster. What we saw here was basically a double bottom shaping up. We had essentially the same lows here and here. So we wanted to see kind of how it may unfold. So let's go to the chart and see how it went. And real quick before I do get started, bullwarriorstocks.com. If you want to get on the newsletter and start to get these emails, just go to that site, sign up, and everything's free, so you'll be good to go. Anyways, back to BBI. This blue line here just represents what the chart looked like when I sent it out to the group. Once again, we were looking for the double bottom. And on this first day here, you can see that it pulled back here, and it would have allowed for a nice entry. It gapped, pulled back, so if you had bought in on this pullback here off the double bottom, which would have been smart, the next day it went up and hit a high of basically just underneath 41 cents. So with these penny stocks, it doesn't take too much, and if you watch our other videos, you know that our requirements for a winner is 5%. But this move here, had you bought in on this pullback and then sold on this move up here, that gave 7.9% possible window of profit, so not too bad for just holding on a couple, or more, probably less than a day here. You could have gotten just under 8%. And then it's fallen back down the rest of the day. But here, right, this little move here would have given you, ample time to at least get 5% there. Our next play was our bottom bouncer play, DRV, and what we were looking for on this one was hopefully a move down to this area here, but it never did come, as you will see. But this is what we were hoping as a bottom bouncer. The previous support was down here, so we were thinking, if it pulls down here right around this $12 range, that could make a pretty good low risk, high reward entry. So going to the chart, once again the blue line, that's just showing us what the chart looked like when we sent it out. Looking for about a $12 entry, and as you can see, never got down there. It's looking like it might hit it today, but there's only 2 hours left in the market, so the play is pretty much off the table. So this is a no play. It never got down to where we were looking to possibly get in, so there's never really a buy signal given. So we will just move on from that one. So DRV was a no play. Our next one was CYCC. This was our trend trading play, meaning we want to go with the trend. As we pointed out here, the 50-day simple moving average had a nice strong slope to it. This pullback here was occurring on low volume, which is what you want to see. And we mapped out an entry point of 244 on the pullback. So now we can go and see how this one did. So here's a chart we were looking at. Made a little move on Monday, and Tuesday started to come back down. Yesterday came down and hit a low of 236, so this would have filled you if you had been sitting right here at 244. So let's just assume you had gotten in at 244. Possibly you could have gotten in lower, but for argument's sake, we'll just say 244. Today it went up and hit a high of 259, so that move from 244 up to 259 was 6.1%. So that puts us over the threshold of what we would count as a winner. So once again, not too bad. You could have bought in and then sold out this morning and made, 5 to 6% in just less than a day. So not too bad, especially when you walk into your local bank and see what the interest rates are they're offering you. So very nice play for just a real quick little trade there. Our next one was TGB. This was our pending breakout play, and for these all we're doing is simply looking at a key breakout point and then hopefully playing the break. Ours for this one was $4.65. We were hoping for an increase in volume, and let's just go over and see what happened on this one. So here's what the chart looked like. We were looking at a 465 break, which happened there. So this would have been a decent entry. The only thing that cautioned people would have been there was no bigger volume there. It was actually less than the day before. But so this might have cued some people that there wasn't any real strength behind this, but this makes a good lesson. But for us, it went back down, coming back up now, but loser, it went up here and then it just fell back down, so you'd have been stopped out. But once again, like I said, this is a good example of how, even though it broke out, you look down here at the volume and there really wasn't anything. So that would have been a little warning to be pretty safe if you had gotten in and keep a type stop loss. And sure enough, it did fall back down. But TGB was a loser for us on the week. The last one we had, we're going to finish on the focus chart, since this was a nice success for us. As I was saying, this was our volume alert play. We like the increasing volume and the nice price reaction. We pointed out a couple of nice areas of possible entries on pullbacks. If you follow us, we're always looking for pullback entries to give us good prices. But let's go to the chart and see how this one played out. Once again, this was a penny stock, so it's one of these where the percentages add up a lot quicker. So here's what the chart looked like. This green line here that I have is that 20-cent area that I had mapped out. You can see on Monday, gapped up here, pulled back, and went all the way down to 17, so this could have gotten you filled. We had another possible entry down here at 15, but it didn't drop far enough for that one. But let's say you had gotten in at that 20-cent mark, which we had mapped out on the chart as an entry. It ended up bouncing back up and closing at 27, and then here closed at 27, or opened at 27. So that move right there is 35%. So that's a real nice move. Now, you would have had to play it perfectly to get 35%, but let's say you only sold at 26 cents or 25 cents off that bounce, then you're looking at a 15 to 20% gain. But once again, making 15 to 20% in one day, not too bad. So this was a nice little success for us, and just a great example of buying on pullbacks like it had right there. So had you played it perfectly, there was a 35% window of opportunity. But even if you sold it a little too soon or whatever, you could have still made it easy 10 to 20%, which over a day, not too bad at all. So once more, this was the Bull Warrior Charts weekly review. Once again, if you're interested, all you have to do is go to bullwarriorstocks.com, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be subscribed to go. So if you have any other questions on the charts, please let us know. But if not, please sign up, and we'll have a whole new batch coming out tomorrow. Have a good weekend.